Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Courtney, and I'm really surprised I'm still smiling. I've tried to film this video like 4 times now, but it has taken so long because there's so much information that is required to say, and it's been 20 minutes, but I'm like, no one wants to listen to this story for 20 minutes, so let's try and keep it under 10. Okay, so let's just go ahead and jump right into me getting my wisdom teeth removed and what I ate, which was very little. Like, I feel weak just thinking about how little food I was able to eat. So basically, I had to get my 2 wisdom teeth out on the bottom. This one was fully out and it was causing problems, and that's why. And then this one was only partially out, but I was like, if I'm getting one, I might as well do both because I know it has to come out. So this tooth actually ended up getting an infection. Worst thing ever. Not only was it an infection though, it was also a dying tooth, which is apparently death in your mouth is the worst thing to ever happen because it hurts so bad. So bad. So basically what happens is your teeth don't each have like an individual nerve. They're like connected to a whole system of a nerve. So the nerve is connected to your ear and then it like branches off into the top and bottom part of your mouth. So because this tooth was on that nerve and the nerve was dying, it caused the entire side of my left mouth to throb and pulsate and hurt like no one else's business. And then because all that pain was happening and my body was just like, I can't take this anymore, it caused an earache. And then because the earache caused my body to say, okay, I really can't take this anymore, it caused a headache. So I was in a lot of pain, to say the least, for 4 days. So then I was all set Monday to get them out. I said, this is awesome. I just can't wait. I'm so excited. Because I was going in for a consultation and they said, as long as everything's fine, we're gonna get them out that day. Which the dentist said everything should be fine because they're very easy extractions. Like, the one's almost out, this one's fully out, they're really easy tooth removals. So I went in and they were like, sorry, we're not doing this today. And I said, I'm sorry, please come by me again. I haven't slept in 4 days. Say it again, please. And they're like, we're not doing this today. And I was like, no, you don't understand what I just went through. I basically just gave birth to 8 babies naturally. That's what it felt like. I have no idea if that's what it felt like. I just sang, it was really, really painful. So then I started crying at the receptionist desk and she didn't care. I'm like, I'm a young girl crying in front of you and you are showing no emotion. Like, what has happened to humanity here? No one would help me. So then they scheduled it for a week later, but the pain was gone. And that's what the dentist said. He's like, because they don't see you in physical agony right now, they don't see it as much as like a rush. So they didn't care to wait another week. So then booked it for the next week, but in the meantime, the pain came back. So not fun, so not fun. So I had throbbing. Actually, I think it was 2 weeks before I went in. And I would just have pain for like 3 days and there'd be no pain and the pain would come back. I didn't take anything during that time because I knew that it just didn't work. And I actually found that if I took a cold bottle of water and if I swished it around on that side of the mouth, it would kind of numb the area for 20 minutes at a time. So I got 20 minutes relief. And then thankfully, for some strange reason, I was able to sleep through the night. Like, it was almost like a big wave would come right before bed and I'd be like, okay, just ride it out, just ride it out, just ride it out. And then it would leave and then there'd be no pain. It was really weird. So then finally the day came where I got my wisdom teeth out and I was like, this is the glorious day I've been waiting for. And I said I was probably the only person on the planet Earth who was excited to get her wisdom teeth out and like not scared. So then I went in and because I was so excited, I didn't really think about the whole process. I was like, this is just gonna be awesome. I'm like, gonna get my teeth out and it's gonna be amazing. He walks into the room and he's like, so we're just gonna get the 1 tooth out? And I said, I beg your pardon? And he said, just the 1 tooth. And I said, no, I'm getting both teeth out. And he's like, oh, okay. So I was like, this is not a really good way to start it. So that kind of freaks me out. And then I said, I really want the second one out today because 1, I don't want to have to come back, but 2, because I feel like food's getting stuck. Well, food is getting stuck under like the gums that are just halfway out and I just don't want another infection to happen. And he literally said it in the rudest voice ever, it's your job to clean out that area. And I was like, I know it's my job, I'm cleaning it, I'm just trying to prevent the pain and torture that I went through from happening again. Thank you very much. You should consider me responsible. So anyway, so then that just kind of like threw me off because I was excited to get them out and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, what's going on? So I sat down in the chair and then all of a sudden it hit me. I'm like, I'm getting my teeth ripped out of my mouth right now. So all of a sudden I realized like, oh my gosh, this is happening. He's over me like ready to rip out my tooth and I'm like, how is this gonna happen? Like, how is this tooth coming out of my body? I don't understand. I was awake for it because it was a lot cheaper and it was only 2 teeth, so it would only take like 3 minutes, which is what it took. So, oh sorry, first he numbed me and I read online because no one told me anything, so I was like, okay, I'll look everything up online, that it should take about 10 minutes that they let it fully sink in. He let mine sit for about 3 minutes and I was like, you want to start right now? So he comes over with these big things and I'm looking and I'm like, how is this happening? And then he just starts yanking and I'm like, oh my gosh, like a tooth is being ripped from my mouth right now. So he pulls it out, and then I just start to freak out. I'm like, oh my gosh, like he just ripped a tooth out of my mouth. Like this doesn't seem natural. I don't understand. Like my brain was just like, I can't process this. I don't know what's happening. Mind you, I haven't really had the best sleep in the past couple weeks, and I was in a lot of pain even before going into it. So I was just like so over it. And I was lying down and my whole body was just like tense and my legs were like shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So then when he went to go do this one, this was the tooth that had caused me all the pain, and he was pushing and I felt a lot of pressure in that area. So I was like, ugh. Like I let out a gasp, and this dude didn't even stop to say, are you okay? Do you need a breath? He didn't stop, and I was like, that's really weird. Like I'm a human being. Like what is with you people? So anyways, he pulls it out, then he's like, okay, bye, see you later. He never said hello. He never said my name. I was like, you don't even know who I am, and then you just leave. Like I don't know. It's just the whole process I didn't like. And then afterwards, I was just like, I just had 2 teeth ripped out of my mouth. Like, oh, it just felt wrong and weird. And he put dissolvable stitches on this side, the one that was partially out. And this one he just completely pulled out. Then the girl said, you know, go home, put this gauze on your teeth for 30 minutes at a time. Once the blood clot's there, you can saltwater rinse. No, wait, 24 hours from now, you can saltwater rinse every 3 hours and after you eat. That'll kind of help clear the area from getting any infection or anything like that. Just kind of keep it healthy and clean. Stay on a soft food, liquid diet only for the first couple days, and then I got a prescription for more antibiotics, and then for Advil and Tylenol 2s. I decided not to do the Tylenol 2s because I didn't like it. I had Advil at home just in case. So I ended up going home and I only needed 2 Advil the first night, and then I had no pain. It was fantastic. Brad made a joke and said, you've had so much pain that you don't even know what anything less is. Like it just blows off your shoulder. And I was like, sounds about right. So I was thankful I had no pain. But then I got home and the whole thing kind of kicked in again. I'm like, I can't eat any food. I haven't really eaten in 2 weeks because of all this pain, and now I can't eat because I can't eat. So I did the gauze. Every 30 minutes I was supposed to change it, which kind of felt weird to me. I was like, this feels like excessive, and everything I read online said just do it for the first 30 minutes, and if they're still bleeding, then continue. So I wish you would have told me like clamp down really, really hard for the first 30 minutes, and then hopefully the bleeding will stop. But she didn't, so I ended up having to change it too often, and I feel like that prolonged the healing process a little bit. So anyways, that's just my piece of advice, is I would recommend biting down really hard. So I did that, and the bleeding was still a little bit. It wasn't as much by 11 and that night, but you're not allowed to sleep with the gauze pads in, so I took them out, obviously. And then in the morning, I noticed a little bit of blood, so I just kind of put a couple more pads in, and then I was fine. For eating for dinner that night, I had soup. I kept the gauze pads in, which they say not to do, but I was like, I'd rather keep it in and kind of block the area as opposed to having it all be exposed. So I found that that worked for me. I would just eat and then I would change them again. And I had soup. And then the next morning I had mashed potatoes for breakfast, and then I had soup for lunch and soup for dinner. I watched a lot of TV. Basically just stayed in bed, as they say, because I was like, I want this to heal really quick. I'm just gonna rest. I'm gonna do what they say because I don't want any more pain. I don't want to get dry socket, which was like the scariest thing in the world, because I was like, I don't want any more pain. This sounds really, really painful. No, thank you. Dry socket is basically when the blood clot gets lost and there's no more blood to form a blood clot. So it's just like basically a dry socket, and it's apparently like the worst pain ever. So that can be caused by like sucking on a straw or smoking, because like that motion just like sucks them out of your mouth, I guess. So I did everything to avoid that. I was like so careful. I didn't eat milkshakes because, as I said, I hadn't really been eating that well beforehand because of the pain. So I was like, I just want to eat real food. So I didn't do ice cream. And then I tried to stay away from sugar. Like a lot of people said, do puddings and applesauces and things, but I just felt like that was a lot of fake sugar and I didn't want that in my body. So I kept with soups, and I kept with more hearty soups. So I would eat soups that were like butternut squash and winter carrot, because they just had a lot, they just felt a lot fuller to me, and it kind of made me feel like I was actually getting nutrition. So yeah, mashed potatoes, and I would definitely suggest sweet potatoes because they are really, really soft when you like steam them or bake them or anything like that, and they're also a lot better for you than mashed potatoes. So yeah, I really didn't eat that much, and of course it was Easter weekend, so it's like the weekend of like, yeah, let's eat, and I wasn't able to, which kind of sucked. But I was able to, for the first 4 days I probably was on a soup mashed potato diet, and then after that I started chewing with my front teeth and then swallowing, because I really didn't want to use the area yet. And then maybe after about 2 weeks, I was just like, I can't do this anymore. So I started to actually just chew, and that was just a couple days ago. I just started to chew, and I was like, I don't care. But then I noticed that food was getting stuck in the holes, and I was like, hey, this really isn't good. And a lot of people had said that the doctor had given them like a syringe, so you could shoot water into the area, and then they would just kind of like scoop the food out with the water, and then it just flushes out. I wasn't given that because the guy was a total not nice guy. So I actually went to the dollar store and I found a squeeze bottle for like ketchup, and I just fill it with water, and it's the same thing. I squeeze it in, it's amazing, gets the food out. So now I eat no problem. I just kind of try to avoid like sharp edges. So if a chip or something like that, I try not to eat in the areas because the gum is still very soft and it's like new and it's closing up, right? So I'm just trying to keep it as clean as possible. Saltwater rinse I did do every 3 hours for about a week, and then I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. But then I read online that if you do that, it promotes the overall like growth of skin and healing a lot faster. So I was like, okay, anything to get me done and over with this, I'll do, because apparently it can take 6 months to a year for the areas to actually completely close. So I was like, if salt water helps and I can do it, no problem, it's easy. So I've been doing that still, and that's about it. Like I said, I had no pain, which is awesome. Swelling was kept to a very minimum because I did ice packs on my face, as it said, for the first 24 hours, 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off. I kept them on the area. So I had very, very little swelling, and it was only on this side. And it went away after a couple hours. Like it came and it went, looked like a little chubby chipmunk, and then it was gone. So that was pretty nice. So I was like, thank you. Like, I will take this. This is much better than pain, but definitely got really, really hungry. So avoid anything with seeds, avoid anything with, avoid any rice, like anything small that can get stuck in the area for the first bit. Just avoid it. It's totally not worth it. I mean, just do it. It sucks, but just do what they say, because it's all for a reason. So I don't know if this video is under 10 minutes, but I really hope I got so close. So if you guys have any more questions, because I said I tried to film this video like 3 or 4 times, so I might have missed some things that I said in the first part that I thought I said in this movie video. It's not a movie. So if you guys have any questions, just leave them down below. But overall, I'm glad they're gone. I'm just excited for total healing, and I'm so happy that I'm able to eat food again. Salads I can't really eat yet, which I really want to because I like eating those for lunch, but overall, it's good. It's healing. I'm just glad the pain's gone and it's done, and I never want to do it again. So that's my story. I hope you guys enjoyed it, I guess. I hope it was informative. Maybe it helps you guys out if you guys have to get your wisdom teeth out. But yeah, I would just recommend following their orders, looking online for advice for what other people ate, and then just doing what you want. I mean, you can eat all the ice cream that you want. I just didn't feel like it. I did get sorbet, which had a lot less sugar and was a little bit better for me. And that was nice because it was cold, and the cold sensation for the first like day or two really, really helped just kind of make the area feel better. So that's my story, and if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And as I said, if you have any questions or comments, if you guys got yours out, I'd love to hear about your story. Leave it in the comments down below. And until next time, don't forget, you're all beautiful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.